from the east with a Bible and smile. Her boots never dusty, her gaze never wild. The children all loved her, the widows took tea, and no one could see what she came here to be. Welcome to mercy, where sorrow is sweet, where tears fall easy and pain feels complete. She'll hold your hand while your spirit fades, then whisper your grief into soft silk braids. The first one to die was old Mr. Myers. A heart attack sudden while stoking the fire. Miss Mercy wept and she led the prayer, but the air felt heavy like thunder despair. Welcome to mercy, where shadows don't sleep, where funerals bloom and no secrets keep. She'll wipe your eyes with a hand so kind, while taking a piece of your sorrowed mind. They say she's a healer, a mother, a saint, but the mirror won't show her, and her touch leaves you faint. And the ones she consoles don't weep anymore, they just sit in the dark staring holes through the floor. Welcome to mercy, where the grief runs deep and the devil wears lace when the children weep. She's the voice in your ear, the breath on your skin. She's the end of the tears and the emptiness within. The town rang bells when she came to stay, but the joy in their eyes has long since drained away. She keeps it by the window in her lace-trimmed room, where the sunlight fades and the roses bloom. A chair so still, carved deep with care for broken hearts and souls laid bare. Sit and weep just for a while. She'll hold your hand and fake a smile, but when you rise, you won't quite care. You left your sorrow in the crying chair. The widow came first with a tear-stained dress, then the blacksmith boy, too lost to confess. They wept like thunder, then left like mist. Their grief was gone, but so was their kiss. Sit and weep just for a while. She hums a tune in a mother style. But when you stand, beware the air. You left your fire in the crying chair. The preacher said she's healing pain, but his sermon stopped and he spoke in chains. Now he just stares at the chapel door like he forgot what he was preaching for. Sit and weep just one last time. You'll feel the weight slip down your spine. But grief's a song that never shares. She keeps the verses in the crying chair. So if you're hurting and she says sit here, say no, or lose what made you care. She don't lift her veil for the setting sun, or the preacher's cross, or the undertaker's gun. She lifts it slow when your hope runs dry, to better see the pain behind your eye. It's a veil for the living, not the dead, a shroud for the heart that bows its head. She sees your grief like a glowing flame, then whispers soft and calls your name. In the market crowd or the chapel pew, she walks unseen till she looks at you. And if you feel her glance go deep, that's when she knows which soul to keep. It's a veil for the living, not the great. She marks the one she knows she'll save, but saving means to dim the light, to leave you calm but never right. They say the veil is stitched with hair for mourners lost in mercy's care. It never ages, never frays, just grows more dense with every gaze. It's a veil for the living, not for show, a mask that watches sorrow grow. And when she lifts it, pray you're strong, or she'll know you've hurt too long. She walks the town at twilight's call and lifts her veil to watch you fall. don't need a blade, she don't draw a gun. Her war is wept, not fought or run. She walks where sorrow makes its nest and feeds on hearts that can't find rest. She's the grief eater dressed in black, takes your pain and don't give it back. You think you're healed, but you've been drained, a hollow husk where hope once reigned. I saw her smile at a mother's cry grow more bright as the child died. Her hands so soft, her voice so still, but every word bent toward the kill. She's the grief feeder, cold as dust, turns mourning into sacred husk. You feel her warmth, you see her grace, while she devours the human trace. She don't drink blood, she don't burn town, she just walks close when a good man drowns. She lights the candles, folds the sheets, and feeds beneath your heartbeat's beats. She's a grief feeder in plain sight. She weeps with you, then takes your light. You'll thank her blessed, praise her name, while she dines slow on your darkest flame. And if you wonder why you still feel weak, it's 'cause you're empty and she don't speak. Black cloth draped on every door, the undertaker don't sleep no more. Church bells ring like daily rain, and nobody's left to count the pain. It's funeral season in Mercy Town, where the crows don't fly and the sun stays down. One by one we bury our kin, and Mercy just smiles and starts again. The florists bloom with death bouquet, the preacher's voice fades day by day. We mourn in rows like seeds in clay, while grief keeps time the mercy way. It's funeral season in Mercy Town, where the laughter dies and the tears drown. Another black dress, another cold hymn, another soul lost to what lives within. We used to pray for better years. now we just prepare for tears. She walks the aisle with lace and grace, and no one dares to question her face. It's funeral season and no one weeps, just quiet nods and dreamless sleeps. We gather close, then walk away, while she grows stronger day by day. And when the wind turns sharp with dread, we check the list to see who's dead. I've nailed the lids and dug the holes. I've watched her steal the grieving souls. They thank her kindly, tip their hat, but don't see what they're looking at. She ain't no saint, she ain't no kin. She don't just mourn, she draws you in. And once you cry in that woman's shade, you'll never feel the same again. I seen her smile when the baby died, and touched the widow like a blushing bride. The tears dry fast, the eyes go dull, like someone carved out what made them full. She ain't no angel dressed in lace, she's a hunger with a mother's face. She sips your sorrow, sip by sip, while your soul slides through her fingertips. I told the sheriff, the preacher too, but they just stare like statues do. They nod and say she's pure as spring, while mercy dances on suffering. So if you hear me true, she's what's killing me and you. And if you grieve, then don't sit down, she'll pull you under this whole damn town. Clean and white, waiting for the day she's on the other side. The town wore black like a second skin. The bells rang loud, then rang again. No names were said, no words were read, just weeping eyes and lowered heads. It's the feast of tears, the hunger ride, where mercy shines. drinks it down with eyes divine. They gathered around the chapel door, 100 strong, maybe more. They didn't speak, they didn't pray, just cried and cried and cried away. It's the feast of tears, the banquet cold, where grief is gold and hearts are sold. Her veil is gone, her face revealed, and not a single mourner near. She floats above the cobblestone, a halo made from sobs and moans. The sky grows dim, the crows take flight as mercy opens wide and bites. It's the feast of tears, the final round, the wail of every soul she's found. And in their sorrow she takes her throne, a queen of grief and grief alone. No songs remain, no smiles return, just ashes falling in an urn. They don't speak, they don't look back, swaying time on a funeral track. The lanterns swing, the night is still, the town moves slow beneath her will. It's the mourner's waltz, the endless sway, where light has fled and hearts decay. They spin in silence, hand in hand, led by mercy's ghostly band. Children hum without a song, old men dance though their steps feel wrong. The undertaker's boots tap slow as mercy twirls where shadows grow. It's the mourner's waltz, no start, no end, where grief and grace forever blend. Each footstep leaves a colder trace, each turn unveils a hollowed face. No more death, but no more life, no more joy, no war, no strife, just endless dusk and drifting sound, a town that spins but don't come down. It's the mourner's waltz, she leads alone, her kingdom crowned in undertones. And if you hear the rhythm start, don't join the dance, don't don't lose your heart. Still turns beneath the moon, locked in mercy's mournful tune.
From the dark, disgusting depths of the underworld, they're back, they're gross, they're zombies! Cool fighting Greg smashes skulls with a steel jaw and a cyber claw. Bone-breaking Betty kicks guts and cracks ribs. She's been busted bones since '91, baby. Slimeball Sam melts the competition. Yeah. Load up the Deadmobile and ride the underworld highway. Skulls, slime, speed. Unlock the Graveyard Gear Pack, building excitement with Bone Blasters, Slime Barrels, and Tiny Tim the Talking Torso. 5 freaks, 1 ride, unlimited, ghoul power! Zombies are not real. Figures sold separately. Batteries not included. Slime may stain. Do not eat Tiny Tim. Parental nightmares not our responsibility. Zombies!
They say she came in midnight black, a veil like night pulled down her back, knocked on doors where hearts were sore, said, I heard he ain't breathing no more. No kinfolk, no name to tell. She wept like she knew him well. Held the widow through her cries, drank her sorrow through her eyes. It's the widow's way, not a tear in vain. She feeds on grief like a summer rain. The more you sob, the more she stays, and something hollow walks away. Left no tracks in the morning dew. The porch swing swayed when the cold wind blew. The widow smiled but lost her spark. Lit a lamp that wouldn't dark. It's the widow's way, and the tea's still warm, but the heart inside forgets to mourn. She don't bring death, but she don't heal. She just leaves you too numb to feel. She buried more. softest step. She takes what little grief is left, and all that pain you thought you kept, she drinks it down and leaves you swept. On the edge of town where the briars cross sits a crooked house with a leaning wall. The windows black, no porch light burned, just a rusted gate and a key that turned. No mirror hung on any wall, just peeling paint and shadows tall. Kids all dare, but none go near. They say her voice bends in your ear. In the house with no mirror, she walks like she's praying, but the glass shows her wrong, so she keeps it from saying. She don't cast a shadow, but she hums a hymn. In the house with no mirror, she's always been. Curtains thick like funeral shrouds, a hush inside, too quiet for sound. One boy swore he peeked inside, said her face split wide and her eyes both cried. In the house with no mirror, she moves like she's weeping, but her smile's too wide, and the sorrow comes creeping. She don't light a candle, just waits in the dim. In the house with no mirror, she's always been. Some say she was cursed or born untrue. Some say grief became her view. But maybe when you feed on tears, you can't face the thing that brought you here. In the house with no mirrors, she don't see what we see. She just listens for pain, like a hymn in the breeze. And if you knock too loud, she'll let you in, but you won't see yourself again. Once wore white, stitched with gray, in a chapel built from dust and clay. They called her sister, soft and low. She held the hands of those let go. She lit the candle, watch them weep, said every soul must earn its sleep. But she stayed too long at the mourner's side, and something hollow bloomed inside. Sister of sorrow, caught her humming by the tune. Her fingers dipped in still warm gloom. A child said her breath was cold, that her shadow moved too bold. Sister of sorrow, hearts undone, takes your grief and leaves you numb. She don't save, she don't mourn, she's the echo of what's been torn. No sermon left, no rosary beads, just the ache she always needs. They exiled her with scripture scorched, left her weeping at the scorched church porch. She kissed the steps, then walked alone, and claimed her name in flesh and bone. Sister of sorrow, now called mercy, her prayers are quiet but never free. She walks the dust where mourners bend, and feeds on grief that never ends. They found her at the chapel gate, barefoot in the smoke and slate. The sky was black, the pews were bone, but she just hummed there all alone. The preacher's words were burned away, the cross hung low in shades of gray. She held a hymn book, charred and cracked, and whispered lines that pulled flames back. Ashes from her tongue, fire in her breath. Every word she speaks walks hand in hand with death. No match, no spark, no oil drum, just a name she spoke, and the flame still come. One child claimed he saw her grin while holy walls caved in within. Another said she licked the air and left no soot upon her hair. Ashes from her tongue, soot behind her teeth. She sings like prayer, but there's rage beneath. She don't repent, she don't run. She calls the fire, and the fire comes. She wrote a curse in smoke and spit, and etched it where the choir once lit. Then turned and left that town behind with scorched scripture in her mind. Ashes from her tongue, like a psalm gone wrong, still echo in the air when they hum her song. No one stopped her, no I rode through dust with a bottle near dry, sun on my neck, ache in my eye. Thought I saw a woman just past the bend, walking alone with no wind, no wind. She wore black lace and a ribbon tight, but the sky around her dimmed the light. No prints in the dirt, no echo sound. She floated more than touched the ground. The road to mercy runs silent and long, where sorrow rides shotgun and joy feels wrong. I should have called out, I should have turned back, but I let her pass on that sun-cracked track. A crow followed her for half a mile, never called, just stared in bile. And when she passed, my horse stood still, as if even the beast had felt the chill. The road to mercy don't curve or sway, it draws you in and pulls joy away. I saw her pass and I held my breath. She smelled like lilac and whispered death. Guilt like a brand on my chest. Could've warned her, could've done my best, but fear will make a coward of the kindest soul, and I let the devil walk in whole. The road to mercy I'll ride no more. She walks it still with grief in store. And if you meet her, tip your hat, but don't look back, don't look back.
And there it is. That's the tale, if you can call it that. A whisper passed down from dying lips, wrapped in lace and bled into dust. The story of a town that don't dream no more, and the woman who smiled it hollow. They say she came from the east, but the truth is, she didn't come from anywhere. She just was. Mercy, they called her, and maybe that's the cruelest part of all. She don't kill, she don't scream, she don't even raise a hand. She just listens and feeds. You think grief is something you survive? Boy, grief is a door, and she's what's waiting behind it. You heard them songs, didn't you? Thought they were just ghost stories, huh? Thought it was just music with a spooky twist. Well, I got news for you, stranger. You already opened the door. She heard you. You wept once in your life, just once, and that's all it took. You don't believe me? I can see it in your eyes. That little curl of a smirk, that look that says, "Oh, hell, it's just a record." But you wait. You just wait. Next time you cry, when the tears come hot and heavy, when the ache don't let go, look around that room. Look real slow. You might just catch her, sitting there polite like, legs crossed, head tilted, wearing that Sunday smile. And if you do, don't run, don't pray, don't speak. Just weep like she wants you to. Because once she's chosen you, you don't get to forget. You don't get to heal. You get to remember forever.